Look at that. We got another boyfriend box. Hi there, I'm Mike, and what I have for you today is my first Black Series pickup of the year. I don't think it was as long as it was last year until I got my first one, but it still feels like a long time because it's the beginning of March. Whoops. And I'm just now getting my first Black Series figure. It's weird, but we got this 2-pack. This is the third of these army building 2-packs that I have come to call the boyfriend box because I feel like they're boyfriends. Because why not? The first one was the Phase 2 Clone Trooper with the battle droid, the B1 battle droid. The second one was the Stormtrooper with the Rebel Fleet Trooper? Yeah, we'll go with that. I have videos on both of those if you want to go watch them. I think they're okay videos if you want to watch them. The thing about these videos is they're not new content. We have these, but I know there are a lot of people that will want to see exactly what they're getting and experience it, and then maybe see if there are any differences, maybe in paint, maybe in accessory inclusion. Spoiler alert, not an accessory inclusion that I know of. I guess we'll find out. Is that a spoiler then? I don't know. Let's take a look at it. Geez, would you look? I just dusted and it's already dusty. That's ridiculous. Anyways, here we have the 2-pack, the Army Builder, the Phase 1 Clone Trooper, and the Super Battle Droid box. Now, I wish I still had the boxes for the other two, but unlike the rest of my collecting life, I have been recycling my Black Series boxes. I used to save them all in bins in my garage, but I'm moving in a few months and I just decided I don't need all those boxes anymore, so I can't compare them. But I will say, if you're curious, this does seem to be a little bit bigger than the other two boxes and a little bit taller. I do think that's because the B2 battle droid, the Super Battle Droid, is huge. I'm surprised that's not a deluxe. I'm happy it's not a deluxe, but I am also surprised it's not a deluxe. Anyways, the box is the same we've seen before. It does have the Attack of the Clones banner on it. Down here we have the image that's sort of styled like Gregory Titus's old artwork. I've actually done a fun interview with him on my podcast, Black Series Cantina. If you want to go look at it, you can go search for that on whatever podcasting platform you want to believe. We actually made the video version available on YouTube if you want to go see that as well. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about this too much because it's not interesting at all. It's just a plastic-free packaging of the Army Builder, which I'm okay with. I really am. I've seen someone, I'm going to open this up while I talk. I've seen someone complain like, "Oh, you don't know what you're going to get." The thing is, if you're getting it from a place that accepts returns, yeah, that's going to be a possible issue, but not with this. I got mine from Hasbro Pulse. We do have the body bag. That's always a classic. But when you get it from Hasbro Pulse, they don't accept returns. So if it's bad out of the box, and you can't control that either way. Like, even if it didn't have plastic free packaging, you can't control what you get when you order something online. Not like when you go into a store and you can compare a couple different versions and get the one with the best paint apps. That's just not a thing when you're just ordering online. So it's really, it doesn't matter, is my point. It doesn't matter if it's plastic free packaging or not with how they sell this. Look at this. This is an interesting way to protect it. I kind of like that. And then of course we do have the accessories here. Get that helmet out there. I like that the helmet comes protected in this little box. And then we have some accessories in here. Blaster, the blaster bolt, and then blaster. Okay, so here we have them out of the packaging, and I gotta say, from what I can see, they're pretty much the same as what you get at retail. This is the retail version of this, the one that came in the mural. It's the same As far as I can tell, it's the exact same head sculpt, exact same. Mine has a little bit of a little mark right here, but same color armor, same face, same level of painting on the face, same hair. They still didn't paint this little divot in the side, just like they didn't paint it on here. In fact, the only one I've seen painted like this is on the 2-pack, I think. Was it the 2-pack, or is it the single release of the Phase 2 version of this trooper? We do have the Phase 1 helmet, which I do prefer the Phase 2 helmet, but you know, when you're talking Attack of the Clones, they're all Phase 1. That's just how it is. I do like the Phase 1 helmet a little bit better because you don't get the chin visible. It's so far up there that it doesn't peek out like it does with the Phase 2 armor helmet specifically, so I prefer that. This is the newer body. I like to call it the 3.0 body, but I know my friends over at the Out of the Basement, they like to tease me about that because it is more of like a 2.5 or so. It's and it's not even that. There have been a couple different versions of these bodies. They've mixed and matched. And the base is still kind of that 2.0, but the legs are skinnier. In fact, I have a 2.0 body right here of the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. And you can see here the chest is a little bit more pronounced because it is an overlay. The shoulders are a little bit more out. Like these are a little bit skinnier. So he looks a little bit wider. He does have a removable helmet, even though this one, there's a head under there. You can kind of see it, but it's white and unpainted. And the helmet's not removable. So one of the things they did with this new mold is they made it removable, which, you know, I do like. The helmet looks, I think it looks better. It does have the full paint down the side instead of just this little kind of top spot on the T-visor there. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good in terms of the helmet. But the differences are the arms and the chest. The chest is bulkier. It has the overlay. It has the kind of the floating shoulders to help with the butterfly joints. And it does have an upper thigh swivel as well as the elbow swivel. So you have a little bit of both. The other thing it has is the trigger finger molded on the offhand. So when we do get like the Rex and stuff or dual wielding characters, they can still put their finger on the trigger on this offhand here, which the other ones cannot do. The other difference is down here at the thigh. It does have skinnier thighs, fatter thighs. The thighs look better. They look more proportionate, I guess. And then the other big difference is that the knee pads are floating. They're not glued down. So when you want to bend them or put them in a kneeling position, the knee pads aren't stuck up here. That's been an issue with a lot of figures from Hasbro recently is it's glued up here. And so when you want to put them in a crouching or kneeling position like this, the knee pad does not move from here, which just looks wrong. Whereas on this one, it's floating, so you can have it down here and make it look, more appropriate. And that's because it's just not glued down. That was it. And I talked to Eric one time, one of the designers on the Hasbro Black Series team at Star Wars Celebration. He said that was a complete accident on one of their, I think it was the Death Watch Mandalorian was the first one that had it like this. And he said it was an accident. He got it from the factory as like a test shot, and they're like, oh, that's actually really good. And they just kind of kept it that way. So Phase 1 Trooper, exact same that we got at the retail level. It's not different. He comes with the same blasters. I do think that they're molded in a lighter shade of kind of a more of a gray than a black, which I don't like. There's also no paint on them. And to be honest, I kind of expected them to have less paint because these are meant to just be kind of troop builders, and they are at a cheaper price. This one by itself and at the retail was $25, but this 2-pack is $40. So each figure is $20 instead of $25, which I guess would mean that if you want to go by that logic, it means that, some things would be missing. And I guess what's missing here is the difference in the weapons. They're just molded in a gray plastic, as opposed to, I think these are just molded in darker plastic. I think it's just the color of the plastic. I don't think there's really any paint on these. Is that paint right there? It's hard to see. Let me zoom in. It's hard to see it. I guess that's paint, but it's not. It's just like weird speckling. I don't know. So it does come with just like the little DC, or the DC 15 blaster, and then he does have the longer rifle. If you want, you can choose, which one you want. I tend to prefer them to have these, but I mix it up just so they're, it's just more interesting on the shelf. But I do find that these are a little unruly on the shelf. They take up more room. So it's easier to pack a bunch of clones on my shelf when they all have the smaller blaster. I love the new posing on this. I have done so many videos on this mold. If you want to go see like what his actual articulation is like, go check those out. I've done it extensively. Last year alone, I think I reviewed 4 or 5 of this Trooper, because I reviewed every Black Series figure I got last year. But they do have updated articulation, and it's so nice. Like the way it moves is just so natural. It's a dream to pose. Everything just kind of moves how it should, goes to where it should go. It's not hard to get it into a decent pose. You can get them into just kind of fun looking pose there. He does it so effortlessly. I really do like it. So we'll kind of go with that. We'll leave that there, and let's take a look at the Super Battle Droid. Now again, this guy first came out last year, and I believe my first review last year was of the 2-pack with this and C-3PO. So I believe this was my first review of 2024, and it will also be my first review of 2025. And this ended up being my top figure of 2024. I do love this figure a lot. Now, the one that came in that pack was this one, and you can tell that it's got a much different paint app on it, like paint deco. And that's because this one is representative of that specific Geonosian fight, which is why he came packed with C-3PO. He's got like a blast mark on here from where C-3PO actually shot him when he fell, whereas this is a much more clean look about him. As far as, the original or the standalone release, they look identical outside. They look the same. They've got some absolutely fantastic amounts of articulation. I've put them into some egregious positions, like crazy positions. The only thing that you can't do, obviously, is because of the way the head is, it does not move. And that's okay. But it does have this removable chest piece, and the head also does come off. And that is a fun little, I think it's a nod to, what game was that? The Republic Commando game. The paint apps on here are the exact same. Come on, get that head off here. There we go. They have the white. They have these little squares. They have the red dot. They've got some wires. What's cool is they really did go through the trouble of painting underneath the chest piece, and like there are people still out there that don't know the chest piece even comes off, which is weird. It's weird that we haven't seen officially that this comes off. Like they've never talked about it on any official videos or any pictures. The only reason people know about it is because they were just messing around with the figure and found out that the chest comes off. And that is a little weird, but it's fun. It's a neat nod to a video game. It's something they didn't have to do, but it's another thing that just makes this a great figure. And of course, he does come with one accessory, and it's the exact same accessory that the other standalone one came with. It's one that the 2-pack did not come with. And since that was the first one I reviewed, one of my complaints was that it didn't have any accessories. And I said, man, it would be really cool. In that video, I said that it would be really cool that if he came with some kind of blast effect, just to give him something. And lo and behold, the standalone version did come with it. Now, I don't think that my video had anything to do with that, because there's not enough time for them to add an accessory and repack stuff and ship it in between when I did that review and when they did this. That there's no way that my video affected that, but I'm happy that I called it out and then it was addressed, I guess, even though, it was probably addressed before I called it out. But this is a fun piece. I've seen people complain that it should have two because the blaster has two, but I just don't think that's that big of a deal. The weird thing here is the official pictures make it look like this is sort of a beam sword coming out instead of a blaster. Like he's just standing here like this in there, and it's weird because it's definitely a blaster. That's a blaster. It's not a lightsaber blade, but I guess it's your toy. If you want to play with it like that, you can. No one's gonna bust down your door and be like, "Sir, you're playing with your Super Battle Droid wrong." Oh my God. This pack is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal price for people that actually open up and play with their toys. This is a fantastic set for $40. This is one of the best figures in the line, hands down, bar none. The articulation, the way he looks, the way this moves, its articulation is great. This was figure of the year for me last year. So to get this for $40, two great figures, and they're army builders. So even if you have them, this is still a great release. This is still something that everyone could get. Unless you just don't like the prequels, which I was in that camp for a while. Like I didn't like them for a while, but I think even though I didn't like the prequels, I still liked parts of them, because there's no Star Wars I just hands down don't like. There's no Star Wars that I can't get some enjoyment out of, just based on characters or looks or things they've got in there. I think everything made in Star Wars, even the Ewok Adventures, even the holiday special, have something in there that you can take away a positive out of. There might be a lot of issues with the movie or the show or whatever, but back in the day, the prequels would have been something I did not want to really collect stuff from because it wasn't cool to like the prequels. But now I feel like the prequels have gotten a golden age renaissance. There's a lot of all the kids that grew up with it are now in their 20s and 30s, and they love it. And you know what? We're all benefiting. And you know what? We're all benefiting from that because we're getting some fantastic toys. This is good stuff. I give this release, honestly, I can't think of anything negative. I'm just going to give it a 4.75 out of 5 just because I do wish there was a little bit more paint. I do wish there's a little bit more paint on this. Maybe a little weathering or maybe some of the little details, but it's so hard to nitpick anything. It's a good price. $40. Two great figures. I got mine from Hasbro Pulse. Yeah, you can just, I don't know, you can get yours from there. Or I think it's Disney Store. It might be, this is the first one I've done where I'm like, I'm not actually sure where this is. Is it a fan channel? If it's fan channel, you can get it any place fan channel is. If you're not sure what fan channel is, it's basically anything that's not Walmart or Target. You're not going to find these at Walmart and Target. You're just going to find them kind of online. But yeah, that's it. Let me know down the downstairs area. What did you think of this? Did you get these? Are you passing on them? Did you pass on the others and now you're picking these up? It's a good release and I do want to get your opinion on it. Maybe you just don't like it. Maybe this isn't your deal. Either way, leave me a comment down below. I also want to thank these people here for supporting me on my YouTube membership at different levels. It means a lot to me that these people have done that. They've stuck with me for a long time. They're always there with their names on this list, giving me money for just making videos. And it means a lot to me. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff means a lot. And again, if you want more content from me, I do have a podcast, Black Series Cantina. We're on any podcasting platform you can imagine. We do have a YouTube channel, but that I put older videos on there, like a year old, because we use that to house our current videos for our Patreon members. So if you do want to see current stuff, you could join our Patreon there, but I'm not plugging that Patreon because like this is my channel. And that's what I'm talking about there. But I am on Black Series Cantina. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for getting this far. And I'll see you later. Bye.